की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरण मोहन जू की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद रसत रसत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद रसत रसत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद रसत रसत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट महाभागवत शिला गोरक्षोर Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Sorry, let me start over because I was distracted. Sorry. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashita Rashita Shmar Srila Bhaktivedānta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashita Rashita Shmar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashita Rashita Shishimar Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja Srila Paramgurudeva ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Tvadiya Shubha Tirava Titi Mahamahotsav ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashita Rashita Shishimar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Mahābhagavat Srila Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Vaiṣṇava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jīva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Shāra Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Dāmodara-vrata Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Naam Acharya Srila Haridas Ṭhākura ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदाते गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री कार्तिक व्रत दामोदर-व्रत ऊर्जा-व्रत की जय। ऊर्जेश्वरी श्री विश्वभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय। श्री नियम सेवा की जय। श्री कार्तिक व्रत पालन करी भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री शारदीय रास यात्रा की जय। श्री मुरारी गुप्त की जय। तदीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद रसत रसत शिशिमाद श्रील भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज श्रील परम गुरुदेव की जय। तदीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि की जय। तिथि पालन करी भक्त वृंद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय। श्री रस-पाñcādhyayī की जय। श्रीनिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All right, so let's go to read Hari Bol Rukmini Didi. All right, so we'll start with the Mangalacharan and then, we should add I'll add this to the Mangalacharan. What is it? Angashama Lima Chatabya Abhitu. I should probably do that now, huh? Actually, it's in the songbook. Let's just get it in the songbook. I'll just get it ready and then we can sing it. Where is it? It's in projects, proofreading, songbook. I think it will be here. Yeah, let's look here. No, it's not in the Sanskrit section. Sorry. Okay. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad-Bhaktivedānta Narayanatina Namine. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedānta Swāminiti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya. Oh, dang it. Sorry. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Acharya Singharupine Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Pragyana Keśava iti namine Attimartha Charitraya Swashritanam Chapaline Jīva Dukke Sadartaya Shri Nama Premadayane Gaurashaya Vigrahaya Krishna Kamaikacharine Rupanuga Pravaraya Vinodeti Sarupine Prabhupadantarangaya Sarvashargunashaline Maya Bharatamognaya Vedantartha Vide Namaha. Okay. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namne gauratvishe namaha. Gurave gaurachandraya radhikaya tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna bhaktaya tar bhaktaya namo namaha. Yang pravrjantamanopetamapeta-krityam dvaipayano virahakatara ajuhava putreti tanmayataya taravobhinedustam sarvabhuta hridaya munimanatosmi Narayanam namaskritya narang chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet Shrinvatang Svakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridantasto Yabhadrani Vidhunoti Surit Satam Nashta Prayeshvavadreshu Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tvang Nayamam Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshya Kshiptashtakama Ditaranga Madhe Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'll do this verse here. Anga Shama Lima Chata Bhirabhito Mandi Kritendi Varam Jaryam Jagurorochisham Vidhadatam Patam Parasya Shriya Vrindaranya Vilasinam Hridilasar Dāmodara-vrata Radha-skandha-niveshito jwala-bhujam Dhyayema Dāmodaram Dhyayema Dāmodaram. I read this verse. This is by Śrīla Gosvāmī from his Stavamala. His dark bodily luster eclipses a blue lotus. His brilliant yellow garments rebuke the radiance of golden kumkum. He revels in pastimes within Sri Vrindavan. His chest is beautified by a splendid Vaijayanti garland, and his splendorous left hand rests upon the shoulder of Sri Radha. I meditate upon that Sri Damodar. Jai Sri Radha Damodar Juki Jai. Haribo, Madhavi Didi, Dandavat Pranam, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Sudevi Didi, Rukmini Didi, Jai Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai, Paramgurudeva ki Jai, Jai Yashji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. All right, so today is probably the most appropriate day of the year to be reading this Gopī-gīta. This is the day of Sharadiya Rasyatra. So it is on this day that these verses of Gopī-gīta were uttered by the Braja Gopis. So yeah, maybe we'll go through it from the beginning, from verse 1 till verse 8, and you can sing along with me. I'll just read the Sanskrit though, because we have a lot to read today, and I don't want it to get too late for the devotees in the West. So yeah, let's go through it now. Actually, maybe let's read it in the songbook. That might be easier. Then I don't need to go through so many pages. 1 second, let me just open it up. Okay. Sorry, I just have to open up this file. It's kind of big. Gopi. There, okay. Now I'll make the size a bit bigger. And if you could either read the translations or you could sing along, either whatever you're more comfortable with. Or you could do both if you're fast at reading. Okay, there. Let me take off these red lines. Whatever, we can. There. Okay. So this is from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10:31. Gopya uchu jayate te dhika jadmana vraja shrayata indira shashvaratrahi Dahita drishyata dikshutavakas Tvaidrita savas Tvang vichinvate Sharadudashaye Sadhu jata sat sarasi jotara Shri Mushadrisha Suratanate Shulkadasika Varadane Gnato neha kim vada visha jala pyayat vyala rakshasat varsha marutar vaidyuta nala vrishamayatmajar vishvato bhayat rishabhate vayam rakshita moho nakhalu gopika nandano bhavan akhila dehina antaratmadre vikhana sartito vishwaguptaye sakayudevan satvatam kule virachita bhaya vrishni duryate charanami yusham sangsriter bhaya Karasaroroha Kanta Kamadam Shirasi Dehina Shikara Graham Vrajajanarihan Virayoshitam Nijajana Smaya Dvangsana Smita Bhaja Sakhe Bhavat Kinkari Smano Jalaruhanana Charudashaya Pranatadehina Papakashana Trinacharanugam Sriniketanam Pani Panarpitam Te Padam Bhujam Pinokoche Shuna Grindhi Hrichayam. Okay, so that's where we read up to. Yesterday, I'll just read the translations. These translations are a lot shorter. These are the translations I made. I just made it very quick to the point. So that's why anything in square brackets was something that was extra in the Hindi version of my Gurudev's. So, the Gopi said, "O most beloved, because of your birth in this land of Raj, it has become even more glorious than Vaikuntha and other planets. It is for this reason that Lakshmi eternally decorates it with her presence. It is for your sake alone that we, your gopis, maintain our lives. We are searching for you in all directions. Therefore, please show yourself to us." O Master of amorous pleasure, Shri Krishna, O Bestower of benedictions. Oh, whoops. Looks like there's a mistake here. You are killing us, your made unpaid servants, by the glance of your eyes, which steal even the proud beauty of the perfectly formed blossom's lotus. Is this not considered murder? Oh no, I read it wrong. Is killing us, your unpaid maidservants, by the glance of your eyes, which steal even the proud beauty of the perfectly formed blossoms lotus, not considered murder? O crest jewel among men, time and again you have saved us from all kinds of danger, from the poisonous water of Kaliya Hrad, from Aghasura, from torrential rains showered down by Indra, from the whirlwinds created by Trinavarta, from Indra's fiery thunderbolts, from the bull demon Arishtasura, and from the son of Maya Danava, Vyomasura. O friends, you are certainly not only the son of Yashoda, you are also the supersoul who resides in the heart of all living beings. In response to the prayer of Lord Brahma, you have descended in the Yadav dynasty in order to protect the universe. O crest jewel of the Yadu dynasty, O beloved, your hand grants fearlessness to those who, terrified by the cycle of birth and death, surrender to your lotus feet. O fulfiller of our desires, please place on our heads that very lotus hand that grants fearlessness and that accepted Lakshmi's two hands. O hero, O hero, you destroy the sorrows of the residents of Raj. Your mere smile shatters the pride arising from the good fortune of your near and dear ones, and it also shatters the sulky mood, the man, arising from that pride. O dear friends, we are your maidservants. Therefore, for your own pleasure, kindly show us your attractive lotus face. Your lotus feet destroy the past sins of surrendered souls. Those feet follow behind the cows that graze in the pastures. They are the abode of Lakshmi Devi, and you place them upon the hoods of a serpent, Kaliya. Please place those very lotus feet upon our breasts and subdue the lust in our hearts. Okay, so now we come to the 8th verse. We'll read from Haribol, Raseshwari Mataji and Ganga Mataji and Rup Manjari Didi. Dandavat Pranams, happy Kartik. So we'll read this verse 8 from Gopī-gīta, and then we'll read about my Paramgurudeva. Okay. Oh, and just back in verse 5, what did he say? There's the gopis were praying for 4 things. What were they? They're asking for 4 things. I'm just trying to find where it was. It's okay. Let's see if the word 4 comes. Oh, somebody's calling me. Anyways, doesn't matter. Anyways, doesn't matter. We don't. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Okay. The gopis begin to express their 4 desires. What are those 4 desires? One is to place your lotus hands on our heads. The second is to show us your lotus face graced with a gentle smile. Then the third is to place your lotus feet on our breasts. And the fourth is to give us the nectar of your lips. So we already read, place your lotus hands on our heads. And did we read number 2 yet? I don't think so. I think that's what we're doing today, verse 8. Oh, no. Verse 8 is number 4. So in the previous one, they're asking you should, those same lotus feet, you should rest on our breasts and pacify the fire of lust blazing in our hearts. So that was number 3 in this verse 7. And now number 4 is in this verse 8. Okay. So they pray. You can sing with me. Madhuraya gira Valgovakyaya Buddhamanogyaya Pushkarekshana Vidir Kaririva sorry, Vidir Karirima Viryamoyate Adhara Sindhuna Vyayaya Svana. O Kamala Nayan, O lotus-eyed one, your extremely sweet voice and enchanting speech, which attracts astute intellectuals, are bewildering us. O munificent hero, please restore the lives of your maidservants with the divine ambrosia of your lips, sweeter than the sweetest amrita. How did I translate? O lotus-eyed one, we are bewildered by your sweet voice and enchanting words, which capture the minds of the clever Rasik scholars. O hero, we are your maidservants. Please restore our lives with the divine ambrosia of your lips. Srila Sridhar Swamipad's Bhāvārtha Dīpikā. O lotus-eyed one, we are bewildered by your sweet voice and most heartfelt words, which steal the minds of grave intellectuals, who consequently lose their sobriety. O hero, we are your maidservants. Enliven us with the nectar of your lips. Srila Jiva Gosvāmī Vaishnava Toṣaṇī. Remembering the flow of sweet words from Krishna's fragrant mouth, the gopis experienced such a strong desire to relish the nectar of his lips that the agony of separation reached the stage of moha, complete bewilderment. Fearing that this condition would be very difficult to overcome, the gopis again ask for some rejuvenating tonic in addition to a medicated ointment. That is, they request the nectar of Krishna's lips coupled with an embrace in this verse beginning with Madhuraya. We are bewildered by your sweet voice. Therefore, you should revive us with the nectar of your lips. Otherwise, we will die. Krishna asks, why will you die? Because we will remember the sweet words you spoke, such as Swagatam vo Mahabhaga. O fortunate ladies, have you reached here safely? We also remember the words you spoke to Śrīmati Radhika. Kotora bhava mridviva pranastvam asiradhike asti nanya chakorasya chandra lekham vina gati. That's from Srila Rupa Goswami's Vidyagda Madhav. O Radhika, whether you be cruel to me in your sulky mood or merciful, you are always my life and soul. Just as a chakora bird cannot live without the moon, just as a chakora bird cannot live without the moonbeams, I cannot live without you. Sugary words such as these and many others equally bring sugary words such as these and many others equally sweet bring us life. Sugary doesn't sound good. But remembering such sweet words now, we are becoming completely bewildered. Muhyati means that they reach the stage of bewilderment, just preliminary to death. Krishna asks, in what way do you find my words striking? The gopis answer, your style of speaking is most agreeable, sweeter than the sweet, accompanied by your charming voice, the special choice of sounds, and the tenderness of prem. Thus, any living being will be enchanted by your speech. Your gentle and beautiful words, which are structured according to the proper grammar with subject and predicate, express your desires, worthiness, and affection. Furthermore, your words bestow bliss to erudite scholars because of the way that you express your thoughts, sometimes using the direct meaning of words, sometimes, oh God, how do you say this word? Elliptical expressions, and sometimes indirect meanings. Laden with desire and emotion, your utterances are decorated with linguistic ornaments and are full of deep meaning. The word ima, meaning these gopis, indicates that they are dying. They are dying right in front of Krishna's eyes at that very moment. Therefore, therefore there can be no doubt about their condition. They say, "Why can't you give us? Why can't you give us what we desire? Certainly, you should comply with us." Krishna may say, "What are you asking for? The nectar of my lips." Sorry, what you are asking for, the nectar of my lips, is not proper for giving. How can I give it to you? The gopis reply, "Hey, Veer, oh hero, you are not only a very merciful person, you are also munificent. Therefore, there is nothing that you cannot give. O lotus-eyed one, when you speak sweet words with a gentle smile on your lotus face, casting inviting glances, you can bewilder anybody." Lila Shuk Shripad Bilva Mangal. Lila Shuk Shripad Bilva Mangal describes Krishna's sweet talk in Shri Krishna Karnamrita, verse 33. O beautiful one, when you, maddened with pride, lovingly converse with the maidens of Raj, then there's no limit to resourcefulness in your eloquence resulting from your youthful age. Your words are full of nectar and give great pleasure to the mind by your poetic expression and figurative manner of speech. Your words accompanied by the glances of your large lotus eyes, your pushkarikshana, repeatedly manifest in the hearts of pious persons overwhelmed by loving emotions for you. The commentary on the rest of the verse is according to Sridhar Swamipad. Another meaning can be read into the Gopi's Another meaning can be read into the Gopi's speech. We were bewildered by the sweetness of your words. Thus, having lost all discrimination, we became your maidservants, being fully confused. Those words can be understood in yet another way. We became your maidservants, being attracted by hearing your sweet voice. Now, not hearing the sweet sounds, we are bewildered, tossed about in the pain of separation from you. Śrīla Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur's Sārārtha Darśinī. O my jewel-like beloveds, more dear to me than my life heirs. O my precious sweethearts, I cannot be indifferent to you because you are the very breath of my being. You can have complete confidence in me. I am your slave, fully chained in the golden shackles of love. Trust me, I am in your hands. Consider me as one of your ornaments, a bangle that you wear on your wrists. Wow, beautiful. Remembering how Krishna used to speak like this, one gopi exclaims, Madhuraya, your words are sweet because each syllable contains a deep, indirect meaning. Extremely pleasing to the ear, they consist of beautiful phrases overflowing with vulgar words and astonishing meanings. By their power to penetrate the mind, they bewilder intelligent persons. Buddha manogyaya. Your words throw us, your maidservants, your karir, into an embarrassed condition. We relished their sweetness to such a degree that we became intoxicated in bliss. Please rejuvenate us with the nectar of your lips. There can be another meaning. Please fill us, who were previously beguiled thus, with the nectar of your lips, and in this way bewilder us again. Oh my God, verse 9 is Tavakatamritam. We have to do that one. So I was only planning on doing 8 today, but this is like the most important, the most commonly quoted by our acharyas from this whole Gopī-gīta, this verse. So let's read this. Tava katamrita tapta jivana kavibiridita kalmashapaha Shravanamangala Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Bhuvi Grinatiye Purida Jana. Narrations of your pastimes overflow with nectar. Such life-giving descriptions constitute the only wealth in the otherwise bleak existence of those suffering of those suffering and separation. Throughout the ages, your devoted poets, such as Brahma, Shiva, and the four Kumaras, repeatedly sing out your glories. These narrations, bestowing auspiciousness upon their listeners, vanquish the distress resulting from all their past sins and bestow the wealth of prema. Those who broadcast your transcendental activities are truly the greatest benefactors in the world. So we'll just read up to here for today, and we'll read the commentary for this tomorrow, because it's, because we need to get through my Gurudev's glorification of my Paramgurudeva, whose disappearance day it is today. What? Oops. Okay. Where are we? Okay, so this is from the book. It's actually, the name changed. I got them to change the name. Before it was Prabhandavali, and then I made a big stink about it, and then Shamarani Mataji gave the name. What is it? Treasury of Holy Days. Chapter 4. No, it's chapter 3. Oops. So this was spoken by my Gurudev in the early 90s. I think this takes 19 minutes to read. I think I read it once before, and that's how long it was. Okay. The disappearance day of Śrīla Bhakti Prañāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja. They're just now starting my Paramgurudev's arti. I can hear it in the temple room. Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Śrī Bhakti Prañāna. Maybe we can sing that afterwards. Okay, so the disappearance day of Śrīla Bhakti Prañāna Keśava Gosvāmī. Our Guru Maharaj appeared in a family of landowners in the famous village of Banaripada in the district of Jeshore in East Bengal. When he was born, his body was very soft and beautiful, and because he had a golden complexion, his mother and all the local ladies gave him the nickname Jonah, meaning glowworm. His actual name was Bhima. For approximately 3 or 4 months, he didn't speak or cry at all, and his family was very worried. Then, one day, a Muslim mendicant who came to their home begging said to Gurudev's mother, "Your son is not speaking?" She replied, "How did you know that? If you can, please make him speak somehow." The mendicant replied, "Do one thing. In the village, there are some untouchables, persons from the Shudra class who work in the cremation grounds. They eat low-grade rice that is left soaking overnight. That's panta. Beg some of this rice from them, feed it to your child, and then he will speak." Guru Maharaj's mother was a very hard-working lady who mostly looked after their land. She would discipline her children very strictly, and they would never go anywhere without her permission. Everyone respected her. When she approached one of these Shudra families and asked for some of this rice, they said, "How can you take this? It has been touched by us." She replied, "Don't worry, just give me some of it." Obtaining some of this rice, she took it back to her home and put it before the child, and at once he started crying, "Ma, Ma," and began speaking from that point on. Such an interesting story, huh? I wonder what the significance of this, like some mystery behind it feels like. 1 second. In his boyhood, our Gurudeva was very close to his father, who was especially affectionate towards him. At that time, the people of East Bengal were very religious, and there would always be readings from Bhagavad-gīta and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam going on. Then the partition came, and it was as if the very heart of Bengal was torn out. From early childhood, Gurudeva would grasp his father's finger and accompany him to religious programs, and if it was dark, he would sit on his father's shoulders. Thus, religious philosophy became his interest. There is a Hindi proverb, "Honhar virvan ke hota chikane pata," which means that when a sapling will grow to be fruitful, its leaves are very big and beautiful. Coming events cast their shadow, and from his childhood, the symptoms were there that he would become a great personality. As he grew up, he spent most of his time in the company of a great Mahatma who had an ashram in the village. There he would hear readings of the Gita, Bhagavatam, and Vedanta. When he was at school, at a very young age, he started his own magazine, and its language was very literary. He was also an excellent speaker, and when he would speak in a large assembly, there'd be no need of a loudspeaker. He'd speak, yeah. He didn't know as many shlokas as some devotees, but he would give such beautiful explanations. There is one verse from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1-11, of which he would give an especially beautiful explanation. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajñānamadvayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdate. The Paratattva is Bhagavat Tattva. From Brahma, there is Parabrahma. From Atma, there is Paramatma. And from Vishnu, there is Mahavishnu. But for Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, there is no necessity of the words Param Swayam Bhagavan, because Krishna is the supreme tattva, and Brahma and Paramatma are his reflection and plenary portion, respectively. Brahma cannot actually be called an object, because any object must necessarily have qualities. Brahma is the potency of an object, and it can be said to be the shelter of an object, but Brahma itself is not an object. The names Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan are synonymous, but Bhagavan is to be worshipped, not Brahma, because Brahma is formless. When I first joined them, I received such special mercy from Bhagavan that I had the opportunity to accompany our Gurudeva to many big programs where he would speak, and he always kept me with him. He gave my senior godbrother, Śrīla Bhakti Mahārāja, the responsibility for printing, and being a very qualified man, he has since printed many books and magazines, one after the other. In order to help with the magazine and cooking, and to look after many services, Guruji would keep me with him. His style of speaking and writing was wonderful, and it was my great fortune to hear so much from him. I always took notes and stayed with him like his shadow. Bhaman Maharaj, just as now, was very quiet and didn't speak very much. But my dear godbrother Trivikram Maharaj and myself were very talkative. We were always engaged in debating about this and that, and when Guruji became tired of us, he would say, "Take this book, the answer is there." These days, devotees don't discuss topics of tattva very much. Instead, they speak about the type of clothing they wear and what kind of food they eat. When two Vaishnavas meet, they should discuss tattva, and it was our great fortune to hear talks on bhakti tattva from very learned devotees. But these days, hardly anyone takes the time to discuss the meaning of the scriptures. Guruji was so intelligent and had so much potency in speaking that he could change yes to no and no to yes. It was amazing. Without such devotees, preaching simply would not go on. If one of us wants to write and publish something, we have to look in many, many books and do so much editing. And even if 5 of us are working together, we still may have difficulty writing something. But what would Guru Maharaj do? At the annual Navadvip Parikrama, 5 to 7,000 devotees would come to offer pranam to him, and he would speak with many of them. Somehow, in the midst of all this commotion, he would simultaneously dictate an article for his magazine to Vaman Maharaj. There would not even be any necessity to check it. At once, it was ready to go to press. This is reminding me of, I was reading in Devamai Mataji's book, A Life of Devotion, that Śrīla Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, because Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he was so busy, he had to do things, and he had to walk here and there, and so Śrīla Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj would follow him around, and he'd be speaking an article as he was like doing things, and Śrīla Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj would what do you say? He would dictate it, and he'd write it down, and then it would go to publishing right away. So Śrīla Vaman Goswami Maharaj was like that for our Paramgurudeva. So there would not even be any necessity to check it. At once it was ready to go to press. It was amazing how he would never have to look in any book. When one of us is preparing to speak something, we have to first look in so many books. And when we listen to someone speak or when we read something, we have to take notes in order to retain it. But Guru Maharaj in his whole life never took any notes. He read so many books. His library here is in the Math in Mathura, but he never took any notes. And he knew so much history. No Acharya knew more history than him. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada called him a Vedantic Pandit. Guru Maharaj went from East Bengal to study at a very old famous college near Kolkata. Many great scholars studied there, and admission was not granted to everyone. But due to his superior intelligence, he was awarded administration. In his very first year, the dean and professors would call him to read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita to them. Chaitanya Charitamrita was composed in Bengali, but there is no Sanskrit book that can match its highly poetic and philosophical language. Jiver Swarupa hoy Krishner Nitya Das, Krishner Tatastha Shakti Bheda Bhed Prakash. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 20:108. The inherent form of the Jīva is that of an eternal servant of Sri Krishna. The Jīva is the marginal potency of Krishna, and is therefore simultaneously one with and different from him. The dean and professors were unable to explain this verse. Even in our sampradaya, you will find very few devotees who can properly explain it. So our Gurudev would have philosophical discussions with them, and in the end, he left that college saying, even the professors here understand nothing, so what will they teach me? 1 second, just seeing if everything's still running. Okay, it looks like it is. Yes. Yes. Take notes like a living tape recorder. Okay. So he said, what will the professors teach me? Even they don't understand anything. At that time, Gandhi had started his movement to oppose the British government, saying, the English must leave India. They will not impose the salt tax. All over India, the people revolted against the British. So many big names like Bala Gangadhar Tilak, I don't know how you say that. Gorak, I don't know how you say that. Anyways, Gorakle, or Gorakle, I don't know how you say that. C.R. Das, P.C. Rai, and Lala Lajpat Rai, they joined the opposition movement. It was as if the blood of India's youth was boiling, and at once all of India's industry stopped. Then the English thought, Gandhi has so much influence? Our Gurudev joined as well. But when Gandhi withdrew his movement due to violence, Guruji, along with many others, joins the revolutionary party of Subhash Chandra Bose. Taking a knife and a rifle, he remained hidden within the forests and jungles for some time. At that time, the British government issued a warrant for his arrest. He later joins the Gaudiya mission, and then 10 years afterwards, the British government finally came to know of his whereabouts. One day, some agents came to Mayapur with a warrant for Guruji's arrest, and they approached Prabhupada about it. Prabhupada told them, "But look how he is completely changed. He has become a sadhu, a Mahatma." After discussing the matter with Prabhupada and considering further, they withdrew the warrant. Guruji was a champion footballer, and he was proficient in all subjects. He was an all-rounder. He was proficient in sports, in studying, in fighting, in managing people, and in speaking sweetly. At the age of only 16, he was managing all the tenants on his father's land. He first came to the Chaitanya Math in Mayapur at that age, at the age of 16, and desired to receive Harinam and Diksha from Prabhupada. For some time, he returned to his home and went to college. But at the age of 18, he returned to the Math with his aunt. She was a very scholarly lady, and together they would compose very beautiful poems and essays. Oh my God, her name is Sarojavasini Devi, and she wrote oh God, I don't remember how many verses it was. I think it was like over 50 verses in glorification of Paramgurudeva, of her nephew. It's so beautiful, though. Maybe we could read some of it. So yeah, she would compose very beautiful poems and essays. Once, when they were conversing in Mayapur, Prabhupada said, "We will go on parikrama of the entire planet and establish one math after the other. In England, America, and all of the holy places of India, such as Haridwar, Prayag, Vrindavan, Kashi, and South India, preaching will go on." Then Guruji's aunt said, "You are seeing a very big dream. You are like the poor man who begged a torn bag from someone, placed it under his head, and fell asleep. While sleeping, he dreamed, 'Oh, I am a millionaire. I am an emperor.' Who will see to all of this?" Then Prabhupada replied, "Vinod will see to it." And yeah, Vinod is my Paramgurudeva's brahmachari name, Vinod Bihari Brahmachari. After this, Guru Maharaj began staying in the math and did not return to his home again. He had all the symptoms of a great personality on his body. His form was softer than butter, his arms extended down to his knees, and all auspicious signs were on his hands. He had artist's fingers, very thin and long. In the morning, he would eat just a little simple rice with some salt and then go out and work hard collecting donations for the math all day. He'd collect 1 paisa from each person rather than taking a large amount from anyone. He would go to places where there were large crowds, such as the bus and train stations, speak about Mahaprabhu's doctrine to people, and take just 1 paisa from each person. He would keep this money locked up in a box that had a slot for the coins, and the key was left with Prabhupada. He would do this every day until sunset, without even eating anything else. One time, Prabhupada was being driven along in his car in Kolkata, and he saw Vinod resting under a tree with that money box placed under his head as a pillow. Tears came to his eyes, and he said, "Such a beautiful young boy from a wealthy family, only 18 years old. And for me, for the service of Bhagavan, he has left his parents and is undergoing such hardships." When Gurudev returns to the math that night, Prabhupada called him and said, "Vinod, you were sleeping on the ground at Garimata? You are undergoing so much hardship." Guruji replied, "No, this hardship is a matter of great happiness if only you will be satisfied with me. This is my everything. What more could I desire? If the Guru is pleased, then Bhagavan is pleased. There is nothing greater than this." Prabhupada would call Guruji tu or tui. And to everybody else, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Prabhupada would refer to everybody as apni, up, like that. There is only one other disciple for whom Prabhupada used this affectionate name, and that was Paramananda Prabhu, who was always with Prabhupada. Guruji was very intimate with Prabhupada and would sleep only near him. Even if he went to take rest at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, he would knock on the door to Prabhupada's room. The other devotees would complain, but Prabhupada would always get up and open the door for him. Once, Guru Maharaj was out collecting with Siddha Swarup Brahmachari, who later became Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanti Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Siddhanti Maharaj. They had collected one large bag completely full with vegetables, and another half full. They got off the train at Howrah Station, which was about 5 miles from the Math. There was no public transportation which covered the entire distance at that time, and there was no money available in the Math for taking a rickshaw. Gurudeva lifted up the full bag and said, "Let's go." But Siddhanti Maharaj said, "No, you are my older brother and my Shiksha Guru. Therefore, I will take the full bag." Guruji replied, "No, you are a small boy, my younger brother. I will take it." Snatching it back and forth from one another. Finally, Guruji convinced Siddhanti Maharaj and carried that weight all the way to the Math. This is how he did Guru Seva. Whenever any necessity arose, Prabhupada would say, "Where is Vinod?" After Guru Maharaj's father passed away, his mother was crying for her son Vinod day and night, even though she had 3 other sons in the house. One was a high school headmaster who later became Prabhupada's disciple and the Acharya of Gaudiya mission, Śrīla Odolomi Maharaj. He was fluent in English and was a very talented speaker and writer. Vinod was the youngest of the brothers. His mother sent a letter to Prabhupada saying, "Please send Vinod for some time to attend to some work here on our land, and when it is completed, he will return to you." There were some Muslim tenants who had refused to pay their rent for about 5 years, so Prabhupada sent him there. Amongst the tenants, there was one gunda, one hooligan, who was a very large man and the worst of them all. Guruji ordered one of his family's hired workers to apprehend this man and bring him to the house. The man was beaten 3 or 4 times, and after this, all the tenants began paying their rent. Yes, that's why Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja, she is referred to as Acharya Kesari, the lion-like Acharya. He would not. Yeah, we just posted an article to show that, or a letter that he wrote last night. On Prabhupada's land in Mayapur, also, there were Muslims who were not paying their rent. Prabhupada was thinking to sell the land, but Guruji pleaded with him to allow him to try and procure the rent money from these people. Prabhupada said, "What will you do? You are only a boy of 18 years. Eventually, Prabhupada agreed, and Guruji had the ringleader apprehended, tied to a jackfruit tree, and beaten. Immediately, all the tenants there became frightened and began paying their rent, and Guruji offered that money as Pushpanjali at the feet of Prabhupada. But Guruji would care for those people whom he respected more than he would for his own life. Everyone respected him like a father. At the end of her life, Guru Maharaj's mother sent another letter to Prabhupada saying, Please send my dear son Vinod home for a little while." He called Vinod and told him, "Your mother is dying. You must go to her immediately." Instead of going, Guruji went and hid somewhere in the Math for a whole day and night. When Prabhupada came to know of it, he sent for Guruji and told him, "Your mother is very ill. You should go to her. I instructed you to go, so why haven't you gone?" Guru Maharaj replied, "Prabhu, after so many births, I have attained the shelter of your feet. By your mercy, I have finally come to Bhagavad Bhakti after so many births. Suppose I go to my mother. and while she is taking her last breath, she places her hands on my head and says to me, "I am going now. Who will look after our property? You must do it." What will I do then? Having left your lotus feet, I will again be trapped in Maya. Falling at Prabhupada's feet, he began crying, and Prabhupada bestowed plentiful blessings upon him. Until one's determination is like this, he does not have the qualification to leave his home and family. One must have the understanding of a Madhyam Adhikari, that the bodily relations of this material world are meaningless. Otherwise, even without being requested, one will automatically return to his home and family. And if he does continue to stay in the mutt, it will only be for procuring money, women, and prestige. He will have only gone in a circle and will end up back where he started. Therefore, one cannot leave his home and family until he has this qualification. Yeah, because we see so many people just leaving the mutt because some problem happens in their family, or they get in a fight with their wife and they're like, "Fine, I'm leaving," or they don't want to maintain their family and they just leave completely. It's something that happens all the time. And so, no, that's not the qualification. The qualification is that you have to have this kind of desperation, not just try to get free from your whatever responsibilities. There is a disciple of Prabhupada named Ram Govinda Vidyaratna, who is a scholar of Vedanta, the Bhagavatam, and all the scriptures. He was a very good devotee and later became Nemi Maharaj. Once, he desired to have darshan of Prabhupada's guru, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, and Guruji also wanted to go. So taking Prabhupada's permission, they went. At that time, to avoid the trouble that ordinary people were giving him, Babaji Maharaj had locked himself in a latrine for about a week and was just chanting, "Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna." The news reached the district magistrate and the police superintendent, and at once they all came running there. Seeing that the doctor was locked from inside, they approached with folded hands and said, "Babaji Maharaj, we will construct you a very nice hut for bhajan." He replied, "No, this is very nice." "Why?" "Because the stench of the lust of materialistic people does not come here. I prefer the stench of stool to that." "All right, Maharaj, we will supply you with one boy to keep those people away from you." Day and night they were trying to persuade him to come out, but he would only say, "For me, this is Vaikuntha." So many times they asked him to please open the door, but time and again he would reply, "I am not well. I am unable to do it." He would not open the door for those people, and he just continued chanting, "Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna." Then Guruji approached the door and said, "O Babaji Maharaj, we are disciples of Śrīla Bhakti Saraswati." Hearing the name of Prabhupada, Babaji Maharaj at once stood up. Opening the door, he let them in and again locked the door. The two boys offered pranam, and grasping the feet of Babaji Maharaj, Guruji said, "Please give us your blessings." Then Babaji Maharaj told him, "I will take all of your hardships and impediments away so that you can always perform bhajan freely. This is my blessing." Later on, Guruji would say on many occasions that although difficulties may have come to him from time to time, by the mercy of Babaji Maharaj, nothing could ever disturb him. All right, so that was glorification of my Paramgurudeva today on his disappearance day. If possible, I would like to read more. I'd like to read something written by him. It's a beautiful article. Maybe the one, it is in Kriti Ratna's second article. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, that would be a nice one to read. So now there's, I thought maybe we could, I'm just thinking right now, maybe we can do Arti and we can sing the Arti song to my Param Gurudev. And let me see, that would be cool if we could do Arti. let's see. I'll try to get it up on the screen. A picture of my Paramgurudeva and Arti song. Let's see. Jaya Jaya Bhakti. Because I missed it when they were reading when they were doing the Arti. Jaya Jaya Gurudeva. I think that's okay, it is. Written by Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And I'll put if you have any Arti things, if you want to do Arti, you can. You can do Arti to the screen. I'll put up a picture of him. Actually, yeah, let's do it like this. Okay. We'll make this small. Oops. Actually, first let's sing it and then I will put up a picture of my Paramgurudeva. Okay. All glories to you, our divine master, Śrīmad-Bhakti Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja, whose supremely charming form delivers all suffering souls. You are the very embodiment of Vedanta and the annihilator of everything inauspicious. Sri Vedanta is a scripture of bhakti. This is your bold declaration. Upon the lamp of the Sri Gaudiya Samiti is the splendid light of Siddhanta. With that lamp, your arati is perpetually performed. The lamp is filled with the oil of the current of the conceptions flowing from Śrīla Bhakti-Vinod Ṭhākura. The 10 directions are sweetly aromatized by the incense of the moods of the followers of Śrīla Rupa Goswami. Your beautiful lotus face is simultaneously grave, due to your profound realization of all the scriptures, and soft by virtue of your deep compassion. Your beautiful bodily limbs vanquish the effulgence of molten gold. By your wearing the garments of a renunciant, the welfare of the universe is achieved. Sri Sajjan, that's Śrīla Vāman Goswami Maharaj, fans you with a chamar, using various artistic styles. While Sri Gaur Narayan, that's my Gurudev, he sings very sweetly in a loud voice. As the devotees perform this immensely auspicious arati, the foolish Trivikram watches from afar. Beautiful arati song, huh? So I will make this small, and let's bring up a picture of my Paramgurudeva. Let's find one. I just downloaded a bunch. Which one should we do? Maybe let's do this one because it's very skinny, so that we can have it up. And okay, 1 second. Let me. Okay. There. Let's move this out. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna get an arti thing. Sorry, a giwik. Give me 1 second, guys. Am I sharing my screen? I always forget to share my screen. I am, thank God. Okay. Okay, 1 second, guys. I'm just getting arti. Anyhow, guys, I can't find it. The feeling of sleep gave me like energy, like anything. I'm still doing the live feed. Is there any instance? Anyways. Sorry, guys, I can't find the lighter, and I can't find his helix. So anyways, if you want to do arti, though, you can. I can't do it, unfortunately. Okay. Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Shri Bhakti Prajñāna. Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Shri Bhakti Prajñāna. Parama Mohana Rupa Artha Vimochan. Parama Mohana Rupa Artha Vimochan. Murtimanta Shri Vedanta Ashubhanashan. Murtimanta Shri Vedanta Ashubhanashan. Bhakti Granta Shri Vedanta Tava Vighoshan. Bhakti Granta Shri Vedanta Tava Vighoshan. Vedanta Samiti Vedanta Samiti Dipe Shri Siddhanta Jyoti. Vedanta Samiti Dipe Shri Siddhanta Jyoti. Arati tomar tahe hoy niravadi. Arati tomar tahe hoy niravadi. Shri Vinora Dhara Toile Deepa Prapurita. Shri Vinora Dhara Toile Deepa Prapurita. Rupanuga Dhupe Dasha Dikayamodita. Rupanuga Dhupe Dasha Dikamodita. Sarva Shastra Sugambira Karuna Komal. Sarva Shastra Sugambhira Karuna Komal. Jugapata Shushobhana Vadana Kamal. Jugapata Shushobhana Vadana Kamal. Swarna Kante Vinindita Shri Anga Shobhan. Swarna Kante Vinindita Shri Anga Shobhan. Jati Vasa Paridhane Jagata Kalyan. Jati Vasa Paridhane Jagata Kalyan. Nana Chande Sajjana Chamara Dhulai. Nana Chande Sajjana Chamara Dhulai. Gora Jana Ucha Kante Sumadura Gai. Gora Jana Ucha Kante Sumadura Gai. Sumangala Nirajana Kore Bhaktagan. Sumangala Nirajana Kore Bhaktagan. Duramati Dura Hoite Dekhe Trivikram. Duramati Dura Hoite Dekhe Trivikram. Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Shri Bhakti Pragyan. Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Shri Bhakti Pragyan. Parama Mohana Rupa Artha Vimochan. Parama Mohana Rupa Artha Vimochan. Jaya Bhakti Pragyan Śrīla Keśava Gosvāmī Bhakti Pragyan. Jaya Keśava Gosvāmī. Jaya Bhakti Pragyan Keśava Gosvāmī Bhakti Pragyana Śrīla Keśava Gosvāmī. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. All right, so now it's very late for you, many of you there in the West, so I'll end this video now. Maybe something that would be nice to do is if I sing all the songs, like a whole set of all the morning kirtans that we sing during Kartik, and then you could sing that whenever you want, like if you want to follow the Kartik morning program on other days. So yeah, I think I'll do that today. And also, there's so many wonderful things to read today. So I would like to go live again. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So thank you so much for joining. I'll do a quick Jaidwani and then we'll end for now. And then, yeah, I'll come online another time. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhaktivedānta Narayan Gosvāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Gurudev ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhaktivedānta Vaman Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhaktivedānta Swāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimar Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Paramgurudeva ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Tirobha Maha Mahotsav ki jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimar Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Tadiya Parashad Vrinda ki jai. Nitya Pravishta Maha-Bhagavat Śrīla Gopī-gīta Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki jai. Nitya Pravishta Vaiṣṇava Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jīva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shāda Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Dāmodara-vrata Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parashad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākura ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट विदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंज श्याम कुंज यमुना गंगा तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री दामोदर व्रत की जय। श्री कार्तिक व्रत की जय। श्री ऊर्जा व्रत की जय। नियम सेवा की जय। ऊर्जेश्वरी श्री विश्वभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय। रसेश्वरी श्री विश्वभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय। श्री सार्वभौम देवी गण की जय। श्री ब्रजेंद्र नंदन श्याम सुंदर श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। श्री ग्रंथराज श्रीमद-भागवतम की जय। श्री रस-पाñcādhyayī की जय। श्री शारदीय रास यात्रा की जय। श्री मुरारी गुप्त की जय। श्री तदीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि की जय। जय श्री परम गुरुदेव की जय। हरि विरह महोत्सव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवाय कृष्ण भक्ति पद देवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः। वंशा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो namo namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Thank you so much for joining, especially Rukmini Didi. Wow, it must be, what time is it there now? It must be, it's 5 minutes till midnight. Oh my God, get to sleep. Thank you so much for joining though. And yeah, I'll try to do a session of singing all the Kartik morning kirtan so that wherever you are in the world, you can just play that and sing along if you want to follow along doing Kartik Vrat, all the kirtans. Yeah, all right. See you again later on sometime today when I go live to read by my Paramgurudeva. Oh, and I wanted to read that Ūrja-vrata Devi poem that I mentioned. So we can do that later also. I can't read the full poem because it's way too long, but I'll read part of it and I'll read an article by my Paramgurudeva. And we also just posted it. Anyways, whatever. I'm going to let you go to sleep now. And Jai Shri Radhe, Dandavat Pranams, Hari Bol. Hope you have a very auspicious Kartik. Oh, wait, one more thing. I wanted to read. I'm not sure if any of you have read this book. Sundar Gopal wrote Yoga and the Dark Night of the Soul. And the last chapter of the book, he gives a very beautiful explanation of the meaning of sankalpa and how to make a sankalpa. And so I thought it'd be nice to read that. And then also maybe I could go through Archan Dīpikā. It actually tells the Sanskrit what you're supposed to say to make a sankalpa. I actually wanted to do a post yesterday for that on the Vine of Devotion page, and I started writing it, but then all of a sudden we decided to make a new article for a letter. We translated a letter by my Paramgurudeva, and I wasn't able to do it. So anyhow, maybe we'll see. That I can't promise, but I'll definitely go live to read more about my Paramgurudeva. All right, Hari Bol, Dandavat Pranams.